Hello, hello. We are here finally. And welcome along to the Spa-Francorchamps Tier 3 race, and we are heading to qualifying here. Let me get some detail up here. Not that one. What am I after? There we go. Okay, well here we are. Got a few cars heading out the pit lane now. I'm just trying to get my final few stats here. Hang on. Okay. That's 4. Alrighty. Oh, hello, Ratty. It's a shame you didn't accept my engineer proposal earlier. I can BTP for 1 hour and 30 minutes. What? Anyway, let's have a look at who is at the front of this train. It is Adolf in the Alfa Romeo. Or it was. Oh no. Oh no. Oh. What the fuck? There was no... He would have lagged surely miles for... Interesting. Very interesting. Right then. Okay. Well, that is for definite a new one. Connor, you didn't see the message in McLaren chat, so don't want it to be new engineer since I'm free now. Well, if you said that, maybe, not 20 minutes before the race, we could have considered it, I suppose. But you didn't, so. Right, am I the only one that's not in the lobby, or has everyone been disconnected? What's the deal? What's the deal? Okay, it's just me. Cool, dude. Why has Twitch got this bloody... Good afternoon, everyone. What happened now? I got disconnected. I think it was probably more on my end, but a weird one. Okay. Let's try again, shall we? Okie dokie. We still have Adolf coming round now into the bus stop chicane to finish his first lap here in qualifying. We last left off with him on his out lap. But here he comes now up to the line. Alfa Romeo putting it P1 for now with a 45.4. But Swan quickly taking the top of the timings there with 143.9. As Hanesad now crosses the line to put himself into P4. That is because Ducat's just put himself ahead. Next we're going to have... Vasilev to come across the line and put a 45.0 in, put himself ahead and up into the front row for now. Next up, Hugo Magnussen, race winner here in Baku, puts himself onto the front row now and a 44.6 for him. As Best will be the next one, and he puts it onto the front row. It's just constant swapping about going on at the front right now with the 44.1 for Best. I think Rory Bates will be the next one to cross the line in the Aston Martin. He will. P5 for him, with 45.1 for the Aston Martin driver. Unfi starting his first lap Zerveld coming across the line now to finish his first lap. A 44.0 for Sebastian Zerveld, our Tier 3 Season 4 champion, putting himself up onto the front row as his teammate, Swan's teammate Livingston across the line puts himself P6. Sam Palmer will be next across the line, P14 at the moment, but where's he going to put it? P12, 2 minutes 04. Not a competitive lap time there from him, maybe looking to improve on that with his next run. Luke Martin now coming up to the line, coming through the bus stop chicane. Looks like he took it pretty nicely. Maybe not extracting the limits out of that corner, but across the line, puts it onto P5, into the top 5 for the Mercedes driver. Winner last time out in Zandvoort. And we'll be looking to repeat that here in Spa. I believe the next person to start a lap, or to finish a lap, will be Unfi, I think. So the Ferrari driver now coming through Puan, or the double gauche as people call it. Oh, I've just clicked off him. What the chuff. Now into the final sector through Stavlo and up on the run towards Blanchimont. Very, very high speed section, flat out, foot all the way to the floor through this section until you hit the brakes and slow yourself right down for the bus stop chicane that's coming up here for Unfi. As he will slam on the brakes right about now as the McLaren getting out of the way for him there. And Alfa Romeo coming off into the pit lane, but Unfi's going to focus on getting the exit down and putting himself up into the top of the standings maybe. Only P11 for the Ferrari driver on that lap. I don't know what's going on with this stuttering today. It's very annoying. As I believe the next person to cross the line will be Sam Palmer. He's pushed on for another lap. Wasn't happy with his first lap. Where's he going to put it now? Still P14, but does improve massively. From a 204 to a 146.2. It looks like Masic will be the next to start a lap and finish it. Oh no, Ice Cream's on the lap. Ice Cream in the Red Bull. Pushing on here as he heads down the Camel Straight into the comp. Will slam on the brakes of that Red Bull. You can feel the car understeering there maybe a little bit as he came into the right-hander. But he composes himself, runs it on to the outside and down into this hairpin, massive hairpin, and into No Name Corner. I do believe that actually has a name, that corner. I'm pretty sure it's called like, I can't remember now. It's called like, I don't know, No Name is just a name for it, but it has I'm not being a golf commentator. When have I ever been a golf commentator? You just don't listen to tier 3 streams. It's a birdie! But Ice Cream flying now through Stavlo. Oh, and there's a... Is that now for Towery? I think it is. Pulling out of the way. Yeah, sister team being team orders there. As he comes through Blanchimont. Beautiful corner to watch the cars go through. As he heads down now into the bus stop chicane. Looks like he might have gone a little bit deep, but no, he gets the car turned in. Just pivoting in left and right. Gets the power down now. Looking for the traction. Finds it. Puts himself up into P4 on the timing board. He'll be happy with that lap for his first lap in the session. And next to come across the line will be Noah Masic in the Haas. Won a lot of races this season. I think he's won back-to-back. I think it was Australia and... Australia and... This is a challenge. Oh god, I can't remember. Australia and something else. It looks like he might have backed out this lap. He's low on ERS, but maybe he might push on. As I do believe we have a few people crossing the line now. And one of those people is Will Swan. But we're going to watch the end of Masic's lap here and see where he can put himself on the board. Does he improve? No, he's going to stay at 201.0. Surprisingly, he didn't come off into the pit lane there, get a change of tyres. He could end up in a very similar position as where Sam Palmer is right now. Here he comes now, flying down into Lacombe. Purple sector 1 here for Will Swan, the current provisional pole sitter for the Williams team. Swinging on the car in left before bringing it round right and trying to find the apex into No Name. Very controlled, running it a little bit wide just to get the extra bit of track and let extra bit of speed carried through the corner. Oh, and he's gone off there a bit of poo on, but it's not validated his lap time. Into the tricky right-left section. As I'm looking at my track map here, and it's called Lafans, I think it's called. I'm not going to say that again. 3 Stavlo, I know that one. Purple sector 2 here for Swan as well. Is he going to be going purple in all 3 sectors? Let's find out. Heavy on the anchors, hooks the car into the right, brushing a little bit of that inside curb. Same on the left, putting the power back down, trying not to spin on that outside curb. Come across the line now, 43.7 for Swan. Let's see, what can Kelsey Best do? Can he do anything to knock Swan off his throne and put himself onto the provisional pole slot here at Spa? Kelsey Best across the line, he does, he puts it onto the front row of 143.4 for Kelsey Best. A great lap there from him as Rory Bates puts himself back up into P5. And here comes Zerveld. What can he do? He saw him put it straight up onto the front row in his first lap. Can he improve? He does. He knocks Swan down now into P3. And Zerveld and Best currently occupying the front row. Well, the man with the most poles this season is falling down the order. I believe next across the line will be Masic, I think, but he's going to be coming round to finish. I know he's going into the pit lane, so that is, I have to wait. Alfa Romeo missing a wing. Ducat's into the pit lane, so it could be one of the Mercedes drivers. So we'll look on Luke Martin now. Like I say, winner out in Zandvoort. Flying down now into the bus stop chicane. We've seen this numerous times this qualifying session, and we're going to see it a lot more in the race. Taking a little bit too much inside curb maybe there, and that could very much affect his lap time as he comes across the line. I don't think he improved, or if he did, it wasn't by much, as his teammate Jeff Pavic going to be coming across the line to start a new lap. While we have the rest of the guys that have already finished their laps coming around the final few corners now. I think the next person to go will be Unfi in the Ferrari once again. A little bit further behind than the guys that are all in sync, as an AlphaTauri getting off the track there and out of the way for the Ferrari driver. Vasilo. All the best is on pole, should we accuse him? But here comes Humphrey now through Blanchimont, a little bit wide, but carries the speed through nicely. Onto the anchors, maybe a little bit deep once again for him. Maybe going to compromise his exit here. He's going to has to make the sharper turn in, but up to the line now. P12 for him, a 45.5. Maybe not too happy with that. As these guys are all going to be coming into the pit lane now, apart from Magnussen and Hannestad, who are going to be starting their second laps of the session for the AlphaTauri team. Had a bit of a remodel in the last few races, coming under the new control and a new TP, and a few new drivers joining the team, and a few drivers leaving the team. But let's see what Hannestad can do. And he's lost the back end through Blanchimont, through Eau Rouge, and he's put it in the wall. As Hannestad out of the qualifying session. Meanwhile, his teammates flown past him, but I think he's had to slow down. But wow, that has affected both of them quite badly. And wow, yeah, I don't think you called that too well. Hannestad, the man, the legends. But I think then the next person to go on a lap will be Rory Bates, who seems to be leading this train of cars, which I think will be everyone's last attempt in this qualifying session. So it's now or never, boys. And we'll stay on board with Rory Bates, or outboard of Rory Bates, as he completes his outlap, because I don't think anybody's pushing on for another lap, unless Unfi might be. No, Unfi's coming into the pits. He's got his ERS light is flashing. So yeah, it will be Rory Bates next to come across the line. But guys, who is your prediction for pole here? Do you think Best can improve and maybe keep that provisional pole and steal it away from the likes of Zerveld and Swan? Do you reckon Zerveld can find a few tenths and put himself up into the first place? Or Swan, maybe he's got a little bit left in the locker? Oh, Palmer put corner cutting on regular. Great. Jeff easy pole. Jeff is only 2 places away from Martin. Well, here we go. Rory Bates coming down the final, through the final few 2 corners now. And we'll be looking to find some temperature to put in those soft compound tyres before placing his foot to the floor and opening that DRS. As the Aston Martin comes flying past us now and down into turn 1. Full on the brakes, the DRS shuts closed. Hooks the car into the right, maybe a little bit off the apex there, but gets the exit done nicely. Using as much of that outside curb as you dare without touching those deftly sausage curbs on the outside. Through Al Rouge now, a little bit off the apex, but he runs it through nicely over the left-hand curb. Opens that DRS once again as we come down the Kemmel straight now. Puts on the brakes as he comes into Lecombe. Goes left into the right and down now into the downhill hairpin. Very hard to get the brake in and turn in right here. Lap after lap, and he runs it a little bit wide on the outside curb, but controls it nicely. Hooks it through No Name. Right on the track limits there. Well, what we think is track limits. Downshifts once for Pouon. Right on the track limits once again. Running it as close as he can to that inside curb. Same here. You're going to run it wide and then tuck it back in. A little bit off the apex there. It takes a bit too much inside curb and he spins. Rory Bates has spun on his final attempt here in qualifying. Next up is going to be David Duckett, who is just behind him on track, but he's run wide too. That's going to be David Duckett's lap done for. So I think next will be Kelsey Best, the current provisional pole sitter. Bates has been disqualified from the session. That is going to require a restart, I believe. Yes, it is. So Best now coming through Blanchimont and down into the bus stop chicane. Can he improve on his current provisional pole time? Can Swan or Zerveld? Zerveld is out of qualifying. Zerveld is not going to have another chance to improve on his time. This is Best's last chance to improve on his qualifying time. Is he going to find any time in his lap? He is. He improves by like 0.2. As next across the line will be the other McLaren of Vasilev coming through the bus stop chicane, but no, he's going to come off into the pit lane. And I believe Palmer has crashed out as well. The other Aston Martin also out of this qualifying session. So next across the line will be the man in third place, Will Swan. I believe a 4-time race winner this season in the Williams. He went from Red Bull to Williams and into the bus stop chicane now. Can he find any more time in his lap? Can he find the 7 tenths that he needs to find to put himself on pole position here today for the Tier 3 Spa race? No, he can't. He stays on the second row of the grid. Livingston improves to P5. It's a 3-5 for Williams as it stands. As Ice Cream now comes across the line, stays P4, can't find any time in his lap. As I think this is Noah Matic now next across the line, and his will be his last chance in this qualifying session. But no, he's going to pull off into the pits. He's got wing damage on that Haas. Luke Martin will be looking to improve from P8 on the grid. Can he find any time in his lap? No. Stays P8, so that is your qualifying over. Best on pole. Zerveld joining him on the front row. I do believe we're going to have a restart. I think we do anyway, because I think we've got grid penalties to serve. We've got a 3-place grid penalty for Unfi, and I don't think Cassie's here today, but if he wants, he has a 5-place grid penalty for him. But there is your qualifying results. K Best, Kelsey Best on pole position, with Zervo just behind him. Swan still up there on the second row for the Williams team. Ice Cream splitting the two Williams, with Livingston just behind him. Magnussen P6, Vaslev P7, Martin P8, Adolf P9, Pavic rounding like his top 10. Just bringing the two Mercedes into this fight. And yeah, I mean, I think we're going to have to sort the grid out properly, because we need to find out if Rory's time... we'll have to... Oh, shit. Okay. Alright, well, while we are sorting out lobbies, I'm going to go and grab a drink, because I don't have one, and I really need one. So I'll be back in a second. Alright, I'm back. What is going on? Has it descended into chaos yet? Oh wait, yeah it has. Oh, God. Thanks for the heads up, Housley. I can't even find him. I don't even think I have him on Steam, do I? Wait, FA. I don't have him on Steam. He needs to add me. Just waiting on the grid to be sorted, guys. I think it's a bit of a confusion with Roy Bates being disqualified. and people setting times. Obviously, we need to make sure that he will still be P5 and not, further down the order. So it gives me time to get a few people's names sorted out for the stream. Okay, that's sorted that. And I think I've got an invite, have I? I do have an invite, lucky me. Okay, I am in the lobby, so just waiting on a few more people to join, I think, and we'll be good to go. Yeah, a few people picking teams and stuff, and then I think that's everything. So we've got 22 laps of Tier 3 Spa racing to look forward to. We've got best on pole, Zerveld, the Tier 3 Season 4 champion, occupying the front row alongside him, with the 4-time race winner Will Swan just tucked up behind those two. So it could be a pretty spicy start to the race, and we'll make sure to get that replay button ready. Let me just make sure that I am saying that right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So he's a 4-time race winner and 1-time sprint race winner. Meanwhile, Masic won Australia and Japan. That's right. Cool. Right. I'm ready for some racing, boys. Connor. Oh no, I don't like this. I hate when people come in chat and ask for me. Look in new ticket, please. JK, no worries. I'm great. I'm still gonna look at it, obviously. Oh, it's just yeah, overturn it. But you need to just make. You got the times right. 44,270. 44. So yeah, you'd be P5. Fair enough. Fair enough. What did everyone think of today's Instagram post? What was everyone's thoughts? Everybody like it? Amazing. Good. Good. Weirdo. Who's a weirdo? Why post a cryptic Insta post? What do you mean? What do you mean? Are we getting going or what, boys? What's going on? What I mean is we don't know what it means. What means? It's a video. What does the video mean? I thought it was pretty obvious, to be honest. I thought it was pretty obvious. Oh shit. Definitely a hidden meaning or a clue to what it's teasing. I don't know what you're about. I don't know. Maybe it's something to do with this next season. Who knows? It could be. Guess we'll just have to wait and find out. I thought you removed Japan. From what? What? I removed Japan from the calendar. Wait, oh, you mean next season's calendar? No. Well, maybe. Possibly. You're going to have to just wait and find out. Connor is resigning, that's the hint. Yeah. Is sushi not a hint? It's in Japan next season. No, that is not the hint of the sushi. Ah, man. That's a good one though. That's a good one. Keep Japan now as fast about the practice. No. I'm going off the basis that half the grid didn't finish the race, or more than half the grid didn't finish the race in Tier 1, so no thank you. Of course I'll throw him out 4G. They've all seen you spin already, so it needs to be a new country that can see you spin. Anyway, let's go down to the track where we are finally here for the Spa-Francorchamps Grand Prix, the Belgian Grand Prix. SMH. Will Lightning is the first person on the podcast. Will Lightning? Oh, that's a good idea actually. If I think we should get Will up there. I mean, he's at uni, so whether he would or not, it kind of is one of those things, you know. But it would be good. Medium soft is the strat to go. I hear you. Let's see what people are doing. I can see, from the looks of it, it looks like maybe the Aston Martin and the car behind him just about are on the soft compound tyres. So, we could have a little bit of a mix-up. People are saying soft medium is better. I always think it's better to get the hard compound out of the way at the start. To be honest. Come on, let's get going. Let's go. There we go, one red light, and then we'll have two green lights come up to signify the start of the formation lap. And it'll give me time to get some stuff up on my screen. Tyres. We have hards for the front three, mediums for the P4, 5 and 6, Magnussen in P7 on the soft compound tyres, Vasilev, Martin, Adolf, Pavic all opting for the hard compound tyres as well as Masic at the back of the pack. Unfi, Duckett and Palmer, P12, 14 and 15 opting for the mediums. And then Hannah said once again, two AlphaTauris going for the soft compound tyre. So let's see. This could be an interesting start. These top guys could have a little bit of a struggle on their hands to keep these other guys behind, at least for this this first stint of the race. That's what I'm after. No, Livingston set the lap time after Bates got disqualified for an uneligible reason. Just because this game is, once again, absolutely top-notch. Is the game audio loud enough? Do you want it a bit louder? Quieter? What's happening? I feel like it's in a pretty good sweet spot at the moment, but I could be wrong. But here we go. They all come through the bus stop chicane one last time, not being under racing conditions. Other than maybe if there's a safety car and stuff, but for the formation lap anyway. And I believe it will be Kelsey Best pulling up onto the right hand side of the grid, and you will be on the dirty line of the track, where Zerveld will get the nice rubbered down smoother line. And I think we're in for a good race here, boys. If the game gives me a nicer camera angle, that would be much more appreciated. Okay, you might have to look at a disgusting... Actually, we'll just go on board until the lights come on. Let's see how these people get away on the hard compound tyres. Come on, game. And it's 5 red lights. Out they go, and the drivers are foot to the floor. Zervald pulling alongside Best now into turn 1. He's going to try and go around the outside here at turn 1. There's contact at the back. Not too sure who that was with, and there's contact between Zervald and Best. Best has been spun round. Zervald collecting him on the exit of the corner. Best is out of the session. Oh my god, the pole sitter is out of the session. Swan is up into P1. There's a safety car. There's a virtual safety car, I believe. Now out. Right. Well. Interesting start. I'm not gonna lie. Swan is up into P1. Magnussen's up 5 positions on the soft compound tyres. Yeah. Max, put in a red flag for us, please. Oh, man. But it will be a short VSC. It should be ending fairly soon. And now Magnussen can put the pressure on Swan on the soft compound tyres. Magnussen is in a good position here. It'd be interesting to see how many people got damage as well. Looks like Zervald may have got some damage from that contact, maybe. Oh, he's gone very wide there. But it is under green flag running once again. And he's hunting down the back of Sam Palmer in the Aston Martin. There's swapping going on at the front with Livingston and Luke Martin here having a little battle as he comes through Blanchimont. Luke Martin trying to tuck it into that slipstream, but he's going to find it hard to attack and then stay ahead of the Williams on the softer compound tyre. Luke Martin trying to find the grip now on these hards. Swan sets the fastest lap, obviously, first one across the line. We've got Adolf now into the pit lane for Alfa Romeo. DRS now enabled. Oh, as Luke's gone very deep there into turn 1. That could cost him on the exit. Wait, he's in the lead of the race, apparently. No, he's not. What the f... Okay. Hopefully it'll sort out when it goes through the sector 1. It usually fixes itself. Hopefully. Please. Yes, there we go. And now Magnussen's made a move for the lead of the race. Sorry, I completely missed that. But he's now in the lead, overtaking Swan on the hard compound tyres versus the softs on the AlphaTauri. And Magnussen winning a race this season, obviously went from Alpine over to AlphaTauri, took his win in Baku. And is now maybe looking on for a second, but he's going to make this strategy work in his favour. Will Swan will not give up, but maybe he has. He's in the wall. He's got to watch out here for Luke Martin, who's also lost it. Luke Martin spun round. His teammate spun as well. Jeff, trying to avoid his teammate, has spun, and that has completely mixed up the order. Livingston now into P2. Palmer up into P3. 12 positions gain for the Aston Martin driver. But Luke Martin will not be happy about that, and neither will Jeff Pavic, who's lost the rear end of his car once again. The hard compound tyre is not liking the spin that he's just had, but he's still going to be in the points and ahead of Adolf, who's going to be coming through Pouon now. But that was an interesting one. Magnussen now setting the fastest lap on those soft compound tyres. Livingston trying to match his pace, but might find it a little bit difficult for a few laps here. The softs do die quick round here, though. Usually lap 5, lap 6, you'll start to feel a bit of tyre degradation as Hannestad now pulls off into the pit lane. Magnussen's teammate falling down the order. Let's have a look at Sam Palmer, who's just been overtaken by Sebastian Zerveld, who's now moved himself back up into the top 3. Oh, and he's lost it! Zerveld's lost it, and he's out of the race. Zerveld is out of the race. He's lost the rear end of his car. And I believe that will be a safety car. Yes, safety car is now out, and it only took 3 laps. So, wow. What's the status on the restart? 3 out of 3? I can't even remember how many you need. Is it 3? Oh shit. There we go. But it is Livingston, the other Williams driver, now leading the race. Let's have a look at some of the tyres that have been chosen. So Livingston and Palmer still lasting out on the medium tyres. Martin and Swan find themselves in P3 and P4 on the hard compound tyres. So they're in a good position now. But the mediums can also go longer into the race at this point. Magnussen on the medium compound tyres. Interesting choice. So maybe planning another pit stop with these guys. With Jeff Pavic also in the top 6. Even after the spin he had earlier. Found himself back into the top 6 on the same hard compound tyres he had his spin on though. Do remember that. With Vasilev now in P7 on the new fresh medium compound tyres. Adolf and Unfi both on the 2-lap old mediums, and Bates there in P10, falling down a few positions on the hard compound tyres now. I think we are going to have another lap of safety car. So I believe racing will resume on lap 6 of this race. But it has been a good race so far. A lot of swapping about. Palmer up in P2, 13 positions gained for him. And I know he didn't do too much practice today, if any. Swan will win this, I have insider knowledge. Okay, interesting. But as we head now into the mid part of Sector 2, everyone's now caught up to the train, leading off the back of the Aston Martin safety car. So we should see those lights go out on the back of the car very soon, signalling that the car will be in this lap, and we will resume racing. But just to update anyone that wasn't here, Best has been taken out from pole position at lap 1, turn 1, and Zerveld later lost the rear end of his Haas, spinning it into the wall, the exit of Lacombe and such. There's also a small incident involving Swan, Martin, Pavic, who were at the front of the order, and due to Swan losing the rear end through Pouon, Martin and Pavic both had to avoid and both spun out the way. Team orders. Interesting. Maybe team orders down at Williams, with Swan currently leading the championship and looking to wrap it up sooner rather than later. Maybe some team orders are at place down at Williams, but I think we're about to resume racing. You can see the safety car now pulling off into the pit lane. Livingston may have already darted. No, I don't think he has. I think he's waiting until the bus stop chicane on the grass a little bit there for the Williams driver. But Sam Palmer's going to make sure he's got to stick with him here, because he is on the same compound tyre. Should, in theory, be faster than the guys behind him at the moment. But let's see what happens as we go underway at Spa once again. It looks like Luke Martin's light was flashing on the back of his Mercedes, which is very interesting, considering we just came out of safety car, and Swan nearly lost it again on the exit of turn 1. A lot of traction loss going on for him here today, as Pavic defending Vaslev as they come up through Al Rouge and Radion, as Vaslev's going to pull out to the inside, which is going to become the outside now as we head down the Kemmel Straight. Vaslev has made his move down the straight and up into P6 for the McLaren driver. It looks like Adolf is maybe eyeing up a move there onto Pavic as well. Pavic is falling down the order on those hard compound tyres at the moment, as Unfi might now be eyeing him up as they head down into the downhill braking zone. Oof, little barging going on now, side by side through here, but Unfi's tyre grip is much more superior than what Pavic has to offer right now, and that might put Unfi up into P8, and it has, and he's now all over the back of the sister team, the Alfa Romeo team. It looks to be on the same compound tyres as Adolf. He's going to try his best to defend the raging Ferrari behind him. There's a side-by-side moment between, I think, Swan and Vaslev up ahead, but Unfi's not going to find the move there. Vaslev still on the charge to get past these guys on the softer compound tyres. Remember, he has pitted These two ahead have not. Martin and Swan yet to pit. Magnussen on the charge up through the pack as well, and in theory he should be faster than the two guys ahead of him. It looks like maybe Swan using a little bit of ERS to close up to the back of the Mercedes as well. Oh my, what's going on here? Oh, and he is. Swan looking down the inside here of Luke Martin. Going to switch to the outside for the exit of the bus stop chicane. Martin covers him off beautifully. Shuts the door on him. Vasilev maybe trying to find the run. Doesn't find the run on this occasion. Swan is going to once again dive towards the inside into turn 1. And he's going to take the inside line. It looks like he's going to make the move through past the Mercedes driver now. Luke Martin, last time out's race winner, going down into P5. Vasilev falling off the back of these two a little bit. Magnussen has got past Palmer. There's a sector 1 yellow flag. I think that is for Jeff Pavic, who we saw falling down the order, now down in P13 from 6th at the safety car restart. But Magnussen is on a charge right now on these medium compound tyres. What can he do versus Livingston? Livingston's going to try his hardest to defend the AlphaTauri driver for his teammate, who's just a little bit down the road, trying to make Magnussen's strategy not pay off as well as it could do. There's another yellow flag, and that is for Hannestad, who I believe has had maybe a little bit of contact heading through Lecombe. As this train once again is all squished up. Martin now splitting the Williams and the McLaren as they head through Pouhon. It looks like Luke's really low on ERS. I'm not sure how he has managed that from the safety car. But they are heading now through turn 13, down into 14. Going to be running a little bit wide here to get the best exit through Stavelot and carry the speed down this straight through Blanchimont. It doesn't look like anyone's going to be close enough on this occasion, but who is close enough is Rory Bates, pushing the Alfa Romeo through Stavelot. Remember, on those fresh hard compound tyres for the Aston Martin driver, tucking into that slipstream, tucking into that stream through Blanchimont, keeping it pinned to the floor, maybe trying to find his way down the inside here into the bus stop chicane. He is going to send it down the inside. I think that may be a little bit of wing damage there for the Alfa Romeo driver, who tried to go in the pits, but maybe got shut off by Masic. Going around the outside of him there, as there's a side-by-side moment there for Jeff Pavic and Hannestad in the background. Ice Cream falling down a few positions, and Pavic gets past him as well. Pavic allergic to hards. Maybe. As Palmer picks up a 3-second time penalty. I believe that was through Al Rouge and Radion. Very easy to do and pick up through that once tyre wear starts kicking in. But here goes Magnussen now for the lead of the race. Past the Williams driver, side-by-side into Lecombe, but ultimately the tyre advantage for Magnussen is going to pay off, and he's going to put himself up back into P1 of this race. And who knows, he might even try and last this out on the same compound tyres right to the end of this race. But can Livingstone stick with him through sector 2 as they head through No Name now and down into turn 10? As Vasilev once again is all over the back of Luke Martin. He's going to try and go side by side maybe through Pouhon. No, he thinks better of it. He's going to stay behind him, look for his opportunity. It might arise later on in this lap, maybe later on into lap 9. Unfi now picking up a 3-second time penalty in the Ferrari, which is going to cost him big time. Currently P7, and Rory Bates is within that 3-second time period. But you can see the tyre advantage that Vasilev has right now over the Mercedes driver. Tucking up right behind him. He's lost the back end. Vasilev lost the car. He lost the back end through Stavelot. He's spun it round, but he's got himself going in a straight line once again. But it's going to drop him down now, maybe into P9, P10 possibly if he doesn't get joined. He's joined back. P9 for the McLaren driver. Very unfortunate little error there from him. And I believe further down the order we have Ice Cream and Pavic still battling it out here at the back. Magnussen now setting the fastest lap as well, and he has dropped Livingston out of his DRS range. So Magnussen looking very quick around this track indeed. Pavic is allergic to hards. Oh, Ice Cream going a little bit deep there at turn 1 as well. I don't know if he's got any damage. I didn't quite see. No, it looks okay. It looks like his front wing is completely intact. Maybe some other form of damage though that we can't see. He's definitely off the pace. He's looked pretty quick here. Pretty handy in qualifying too. As it looks like Vasilev is going to be making his way past the Alfa Romeo driver now as we head into Lecombe. Vasilev puts his McLaren back up into P8 and he's going to try and recover this race. He's got Rory Bates next on his radar. Can you see tyres? Yes. So there is the tyres. So he's still got the front guys yet to come in and pit. Palmer, Livingston, Swan and Martin all still need to make their pit stop. And yeah, Vasilev falling down, but he's got those 5 lap old mediums, which is obviously the best all the way up to P2. So let's see what he can do with those. He's currently, I think, the closest to on track, other than Ice Cream and Pavic. As we'll run on board with Ice Cream now. We saw Jeff go a little bit wide there through Stavlo. Even at this distance, Ice Cream is still picking up that toe, and will be picking up that DRS once they head through the detection zone, which is right about now. As he comes through the bus stop chicane, you see Jeff's gone very deep there. That's going to invite Ice Cream here maybe to make the move down the pit straight. Looks like that. Look at that exit that Jeff got there versus the Red Bull. I don't think he's going to have an opportunity down into turn 1, but might have been saving it. All his battery and all his traction for this corner here to try and give him the best shot down the Camel straight. It doesn't look like it though. It looks like he's lost even more time. He's nearly over a second now behind Jeff Pavic. And it doesn't look like he's going to have the opportunity to overtake the Mercedes driver here. Jeff just finding the speed in the sections that he needs it. But who isn't is Rory Bates right now, because he's got Vasilev in the McLaren all under his rear wing. Vasilev trying to take a few alternate lines here, maybe try and find a gap that you can just slide down and get the move done. But Rory Bates is not going to make this one easy. Remember, these two are basically on the same strategy now. I think Vasilev and Magnussen might pit again in this race. But I've just gone on these sides for the pace advantage as of right now. Looks like Rory Bates has got the speed covered in this section, but what can Vasilev do down the straights? Can he close up anymore? Can he make the move maybe down into the bus stop chicane? Martin and Umphy are very close. Let's see what happens with those. Oh, it's Palmer as Livingston comes into pits. Palmer's spun though on the exit of the bus stop chicane, and he's going to allow. Oh, he might drop down here into P7 maybe. Sorry, P6. Oh, it would be at least P5 now as Livingston is into the pit lane. Umphy and him going side by side here through turn 1. Umphy giving him the barge onto the outside rumble strip. Very, very dangerous and very easy to spin on that curb. I mean, I think in real life you would be obliged to get that position back, but we can't do much about that right now. As here comes Vasilev up Eau Rouge through Radion. He's got that much overspeed on the Aston Martin driver. He's going to pull alongside once again, repeating the same move that he did earlier on the Ferrari, I believe it was, and puts himself ahead of Rory Bates in the Aston Martin as they come through Le Com now. That is Vasilev up into P6, Rory Bates down to P7. There's swapping going on at the front with Umphy and Martin going side by side here into turn 8. And Palmer just lurking there in the background, holding on with those 10-lap old mediums. Now they've got to be pretty knackered with the same as Umphy's 9-lap old mediums as well. Remember, Umphy carrying that 3-second time penalty as well as Palmer is actually. So is Swan now. Swan has picked up a 3-second time penalty at some point. I must have missed that. That could also be pretty detrimental to Swan's race. Let's see if Martin can hold on to the Ferrari here, stay within DRS range, and use those faster tyres to his advantage, and just get pulled along a little bit in this first stint when he's on the slower compound tyre. But his rear light has been flashing since basically the safety car restart, so I think he might be under a little bit of battery issues right now. But he is off into the pit lane here on lap 12. That is Luke Martin into the pit lane. Now, he did hit the wall there, I heard it. Is that going to be wing damage for him? It could be wing damage. It doesn't look like it though. It looks like he just about got away with that one. And if he's carrying on for another lap, Vasilev carrying on the medium compound tyres. Bates also carrying on the hard compound tyres. As his teammate Palmer is now into the pit lane and is going to come out just behind Luke Martin as they come out on the medium compounds now. I'm going to guess towards the end, to the end of this race, but oof, big snaps for both of them as they come out the pit lane on those cold medium compound tyres. Ice Cream up into P10. Well, for how much longer? These guys are going to be charging through now on the fresher rubber. Luke doesn't have battery. Problem is game glitch. English. Nice. So, I think... yeah, Swan is going to be the one that's going to have to chase down Magnussen here by the looks of things. Bates picks up a 3-second time penalty now. That is going to cost him big time in the fight with Vasilev and such towards the end of this race. Let's see what racing have we got going on here. Livingston, once leading this race, finds himself down into P9 now, but also, crucially, ahead of Luke Martin and Palmer. And will be chasing down Martin's teammate, Jeff Pavich, who's still out on the hard compound tyres since the start of the race, but he nearly runs into the back of him there. He's very, very close to be in contact there, just about darts out the way in time as Jeff made the corner, but that was very, very close. I'm sure Jeff didn't appreciate that too much in the moment, but Masic also closing up to the back of David Ducker in the Alfa Romeo. Is David going to come into the pits? He is. Ducker is now into the pit lane, and Masic now up into P5. Let's have a look at people that have made their stops. So Masic is actually on a 2-stop, so he could go to the end of this race from here. Let's see how that goes for him. As someone's coming out the pit lane, that is Magnussen. Magnussen has made a pit stop and is onto fresh medium compound tyres. Crucially though, 2.5 seconds clear of Swan. So he has called the strategy and decided to pit. And that could have been the strategy call that made this his win. But let's find out. These guys up ahead have actually all stopped in this race, but it doesn't mean they're going to go to the end. Remember, we had that early safety car that maybe changed a few people's minds for the early stages of this race. Rory Bates has lost it and finds himself in the grass in the inside of turn 8, getting out of the way of a few guys there. But he will not be happy about that. I think this is probably going to be his in-lap as well on those hard compound tyres. As Adolf now is retired from the session in the pit lane, that is. So no need to worry about a safety car coming out. But what we do need to worry about is his AI car not pulling off into the track and hitting somebody. But Swan all over the back of Noah Masic now. And we'll be looking at that car just ahead of him, the Alfa Tauri, glistening in the sun as it flies through Stavilo, and hoping to catch that by the end of this race and take another win this season. They slam on the brakes once again as they head into the bus stop chicane. And look how much grip Swan has compared to the Haas. He's going to open the DRS, pull alongside, and sets the fastest lap at the same time as making the overtake. And swings that Williams down into turn 1. And at this point, only not even a second separate these two at the moment. Oh no, it's just changed. 1.7? 1.8 now between Magnussen and Swan. This is going to be a battle that goes on to the end, I think. Luke Martin also making a little bit of progress as he's now caught up to the Red Bull driver, as Sam Palmer has been just dropped by him completely. I think Martin's game is a bit glitched to me because it says he hasn't made a pit stop, but we saw him make it. He has made a pit stop and he's using these medium tyres to his advantage. He's going to go down the inside into Lecombe, pull alongside the Red Bull driver and get ahead by the time they come through the exit. A nice little clean move there for Luke Martin as he head down into turn 8. Ice Cream thinking about the dive bomb, but thinks better of it. Stays behind the Mercedes for now, and we'll try and cling on for the DRS. Meanwhile, Martin's teammate has found himself right behind the Aston Martin of Rory Bates, who's currently just outside the points, but does have the chance to overtake Duckett to get back in them, both of them having penalties. But Jeff actually might claim that as long as he doesn't pick up a penalty. Could claim a few positions here if he's lucky. Oof, I thought he lost the back end there. They head now down through turn 12 into 13. Nice little sequence of corners there. Rory Bates has really got to try his hardest to break away from the Mercedes now after making his pit stop. Wait, did he make a pit stop? Yes, he has. Magnussen taking the fastest lap temporarily, but Swan absolutely smashing it out the park, and is currently 1.4 seconds back. So he gained 4 attempts in that last lap towards Magnussen, and Magnussen's going to be coming across traffic and in the form of Vasilev and Unfi in just a few laps' time. We're both staying out on the one stop from the hards, I believe, to the medium tyres. Oh my god, he turned his hacks on. We love you, Vasilev. We do. Let's have a look at how Vasilev and Unfi are getting along. These two may be working together a little bit, but Magnussen has now broken that 1 second DRS mark, and will be getting the benefit of having his rear wing open down the next pitch straight, and that will inevitably bring these two into the fight. And Magnussen's going to have to try and make quick work of these guys if he wants to maintain his lead in this race, because we know how Swan can be. Let's just hope they keep it clean. But these the tyre advantage on the AlphaTauri and the Williams at the moment just look just sublime. They look amazing out there, gaining each corner. There you go, round the outside maybe. A Blanchimont there for Magnussen. What a move that was on the McLaren, as he's going to now try and find his way down the outside of the Ferrari as they head through the bus stop chicane, and he has done. He has made very quick work of both the Ferrari and the McLaren. Vasilev stays out. Unfi comes into the pit lane. And now Swan's going to be looking to make a move maybe on Vasilev down into turn 1, looking for the inside. He finds it, the gap is open, and Vasilev's going to get the power down behind him, maybe look to get the traction, but isn't going to find it. And now Vasilev falling down to P3. Swan finding himself in the DRS range of his main rival in this race, Hugo Magnussen, who's trying to find his second win of the season, and Swan trying to find his fifth. There is your tyre advantage and tyre age. Let's see what Swan can do now, as he wants to go head through pole, and this is where he had his little incident earlier of losing the back end of his Williams. But he's going to keep it together this time as we head now down into turn 14 and into sector 3. Is it going to be another purple sector for Swan? No, it isn't. But I'm sure he will be still looking to keep this fastest lap. Here he goes now, tucking into the slipstream. He's got the overspeed on the AlphaTauri. Is he going to try and make a move here into the bus stop chicane? He could do, you know. He's closing up massively. Trying to find the outside. He finds it. Hugo Magnussen very early on the brakes. Maybe trying to force him to go deep and then get the switch back on him maybe as he head down the pit straight now. Hugo Magnussen doesn't get the DRS. Swan does. Looks like Hugo Magnussen's got the straight line speed though, just about to keep up with Swan on this occasion. Is he going to try and make the move back? As Vasilev's into the pit lane for the soft compound tyres. But we'll head back down to the, back up I suppose, to the guys at the front. And as he comes flying through Radion now, Hugo Magnussen is going to have the assistance of DRS. It looks like Swan is pretty low on battery as well. So Hugo Magnussen pulls out to the outside. And Hugo Magnussen is through once again for the lead of this race as we head into Le Comte. The AlphaTauri is back ahead of the Williams. Oh, Martin's... What's happened to Martin? A spin? Damaged wing, maybe? That's the only thing I can guess. As Unfi's now finding himself back up into P5 after making his pit stop. And Vasilev's just down the road from him, also trying to find the gains on those soft compound tyres. And Magnussen's really in his element out here today. Once again, in the lead of this race. Let's have a look at what Vaslev is up to. Trying to close up to the back of Ice Cream here. The soft compound tyres are doing dividends for these for the McLaren and the Ferrari at this stage in the race. They're flying through the order, but I don't think they'll be able to get back up to the places they hope they will. Trying to find a way through the inside, doesn't quite find it, but he might try and find it here as we head into turn 14. Doesn't come up there. I think he's going to have to wait to get the speed advantage, the overspeed. There you go, through Stavlo and down the straight, taking the inside line. But these two, once again, joining the hit. Magnusson still leading Swan out of the final corner. Swan getting the dose of DRS once again. Into turn 1, Swan is going to be behind Magnusson. He's going to be trying to take an alternate line, and he does get the power down before him. Magnusson may be letting him through here, trying to play some DRS chicken. And he stays behind him. There's a big gap between these two now, 4 tenths. I think that might be a little bit too much for Magnusson to be able to overtake him again here. Let's see what he can do. He's closing up, closing up to the Williams driver. Is he going to try and make a move? He is. He's going to try and go around the outside at Lecombe. A little bit of wheel banging between the two there. Beautiful little shut door there from Swan, mid-corner. And he's going to stay ahead. He's put up a great defence there. As Vaslev now gets past Unfi and up into P5 for the McLaren driver, as Unfi's still lugging about that 3-second time penalty that he picked up earlier on in the race. As he picks up another one, actually, it's 6 seconds now for Unfi to try and recover. Magnusson still trying to cling on to the back of Swan and use that DRS to his best advantage, but he has run out of ERS. Just has Swan though. It looks like Magnusson losing the back end there as well. That could cost him the DRS down the pit straight. I think it will. 9 tenths. Closing up to 1 second now. There he goes. 1 second between the pair. Let's see if Magnusson can claw back a few hundredths of a second. And Hannesad's retired on the same spot that Zerveld did. And I think we're okay. I don't think that's a safety car, but there is the Ferrari of Unfi that's spun out as well. Still don't think we're going to get a safety car here, though. I think we're all good. A little bit of swapping about going on there. As Ice Cream now finds himself up into P6, Duck P7, Bates P8, sorry. And the two Mercedes drivers, the only ones out the points at the moment. Swan, though, does have that 3-second time penalty, remember, and there's only 3 laps to go. So Magnusson could be still in contention for this. He has got the DRS, so he has managed to close up a little bit throughout Sector 1. 7 tenths between the pair now. As Vaslev is on a charge. He's gained 3 seconds in the last, I think, 2 laps to Noah Masic now on those soft compound tyres. So let's see if he can close up any more. But we'll stay with these guys unless there's any closer battles going on, and I think there is, with David Ducker now flying up to the back of Rory Bates. Good mates on the server, these two, obviously both in the FIA, and let's have a little bit of a laugh, but I'm sure it won't be much of a laugh if one of them crashes into the other. Ducker, I think, falling off the back a little bit here. I saw him have a big snap as we came through Lecombe. 1.1 seconds between the top two now. So Swan is putting in an absolute shift right now. Try and break those 3 seconds to Magnusson in P2. Rumour has it, huge Williams point deduction is underway. Interesting. Interesting. And Vaslev has caught another 2 seconds since I last mentioned. He had caught some time up to Masic and is now maybe going to be in DRS range by the time we get to the Camel Straight. And Unfi also doing well after his unfortunate spin. And I think that as Luke Martins had a spin in the exit of turn 15. Unfi closing up here as well as we'll run on board with Vaslev. It's more like to see an overtake here as he comes flying once again through Radion and opens that DRS. We've seen him make a few moves here today already. Is he going to try and make another as we go into Le Calm? I don't think so. I think the speed of the Haas is a bit too much for him right now. But can he find it with a tyre advantage? The extra grip that he has at this stage in the race. Masic's tyres are very old. He's going to try and find the way down the inside through turn 8. That's a great move as he heads now through No Name, and he is going to be up into P4 from the McLaren driver. What could have been for his teammate today, starting from pole position, but he's flying solo out there and doing a good job of it. Let's head back down to David Duckett, who has been overtaken by Unfeet, and down into P9 for him. And Magnussen is clinging on. He's setting similar lap times to Swan just ahead, keeping himself within that 1.5, 1.6 range of the top two, and that's all he needs to do for the rest of this race. There's only 2 more laps to go as we start the 21st lap. Now, there's penultimate lap of the race. Masic is on 81 front left. Jesus Christ. As Roy Bates has found his way back up to the rear wing of Ice Cream, and he's going to pull out to the right hand side and fly past him down the pit straight. But is he going to manage to keep this place as we head down the Camel Straight? He might tactically let Ice Cream back through here, but I don't think he will. Ice Cream's falling back a little bit, and Roy Bates has pulled out nearly half a second as he head up Our Rouge and into Radion. It's going to be a 4/10 gap now. I don't know if he's going to be able to hold on to this. Depends how much battery Ice Cream has to play with and how dedicated he wants to be on this penultimate lap of the Belgian Grand Prix. But no, he's going to stay behind him. Roy Bates up into P6, but with that 3-second time penalty, it could be a big one. As Swan picks up another 3-second time penalty, and that is going to be costing him big time. That could even invite his teammate into first or second. I can't speak. Into second place if he struggles a little bit more. I'm sure Team Waters will be in play in that regard, though. As we head now on to the final lap, Duckett's gone a little bit deep there at the bus stop chicane. That could invite Palmer, maybe. Oh, he is going to invite Palmer because he's lost the back end on the exit of the chicane and into the wall, losing the front right end plate off his Alfa Romeo. And yeah, down into P10 for him. It's still a point, but Palmer is now going to be getting 2 instead of 1 as he finds himself back into P9 in this race. It's all kind of halted at the front. I'm pretty sure Magnussen is comfortable enough now to just kind of bring it home. Swan, I'm sure, has realised Magnussen's pace may be too great here today, as Pavic now picks up a 3-second time penalty, and so does Duck at the same time. Impressive, boys, impressive. Martin picks up the fastest lap. He steals that point away on the last lap of the race. But as Swan heads through Blanchimont for one last time, he's going to be flashing at his rear wing. But I'm sure there's going to be a little bit of flashing going on in the Williams garage tonight. As he's going to bring it home in first place, but it is inevitably going to be P2 for the Williams driver. Magnussen takes his second win of the season after winning in Baku, a crazy race that was. He finds himself now on the top step once again. Livingston making it a 2-3 for Williams. Vasilev is going to come across the line to finish P4. And Masic has had a puncher. Masic has had a puncher and is down into P10. Bates is going to come across the line to finish P5 in the end. Oh no, it might be P6 if Ice Cream can't get the power down. But no, Ice Cream misses out by a tenth of a second. And Bates holds on to P5. Unfi brings it home in P7. Palmer P8. Duckett just about is going to finish. That's not Duckett. There we go. Duckett is going to come home and out of the final corner now to finish P9 in this race. And there is Noah Masic, the two-time race winner this season, coming home with that puncher that he must have got on the last lap. And that is not a sight that the Haas team will want to see. With one of their cars already DNFing out of this race. It is a heartbreak for the Haas team today. As Luke Martin, maybe even a little bit more heartbroken than Noah Masic, as he comes home P11 with fastest lap. And Jeff. There we go. He made it, boys. He made it. Well, there is your Tier 3 Spa Grand Prix, or Belgian Grand Prix. And it is checkered flag here. And here is your final finishing results, or well, not your final, but your provisional classification of the race. In just a second, hopefully. Hello. And then here is your final classification for the race. Magnussen bringing it home in P1 for the second time this season. And for the second time in his new suit for AlphaTauri. Swan finishing on the podium once again. With Livingstone also bringing it home on the podium for the Williams team. Another big points haul from the team. And Vasilev bringing it home in P4 after his teammate DNFing on the first lap from pole position. Roy Bates bringing it home P5, starting P5 on the grid. Can't complain. It was a great performance from him today. Ice Cream, P4 on the grid, fell down to P6, but it's still a great points haul for the Red Bull team. Unfi P7 from P12 on the grid. Palmer P8 from P15. Even more of a gain. Duckett P9 from P14. Masic P10 from P16, but obviously got very unlucky with the end there. Could have been a P5 finish for him. But yeah, very unfortunate for Luke Martin and Jeff Pavic as well. Both having a pretty bad time out there in Spa. So yeah, it's a tough day for a few people, and that's racing. Oh, J Cube's here. Oh, my voice is going. Alrighty. Let's head up to the interviews. Okay. The interview box is now open for people that want to join. We've already got our race winner in here today. Oh man, my voice is going. let's hop over to this screen that will hopefully just straight away capture what I want it to capture, please. Yeah, it did. Alrighty, so we've only got our race winner in here today. Let's bring him straight up because, I mean, what a drive that was.
Yeah,
P2 on the first lap, right? After all the carnage kind of settled out. And
yeah, it was. What even happened?
I'm not too sure. We got a really, really bad camera angle on stream. But ultimately, put yourself straight up into P2. Made the move past Swan in the early stages on the softer compound tyre. I mean, what made you choose the softs to start on? Was it just a strategy that you liked, or?
I felt like the hards were easily overheating, so it was not my tire. So I tried the softs, and it did end well.
Yeah, well, I mean, it definitely paid off in that essence, and the safety car obviously helped with that. The soft compact tires working in your favour. Um, but yeah, then you got the VSC that got you past one. Safety car came out. You managed to pit. I think you and your teammate both pit under the safety car, and then flew past everyone. Managed to get yourself back into P1. I think you pulled out around about 2.5 seconds to Swan and the leaders, and yeah, obviously we didn't. We kind of gathered that you were going to pit again because I mean, no Masic proved that they couldn't go to the end of the race, unfortunately, and had a puncture on the final lap of the race. Um,
Yeah,
but either way, it worked out for you, and maybe it wasn't quite on the pace with Swan. You were literally trading times in the final few laps, but that penalty that you picked up, especially I'm sure in that last few stages of the race, you picked up that over 3 second, and that might have what relaxed you a little bit and just allowed you to bring it home. But another great win. I mean, it's your second one of the season, second one for AlphaTauri as well. So big point souls there. And anything you want to add? Anything you want to talk about?
no,
Not
not
really.
really.
No. Well,
No.
either way, as a great performance from you, and yeah, I look forward to seeing you next in where are we? Cota, Texas. How you feeling for that?
Bad, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's a good track. A lot of good side by side racing. I hope there, and yeah, I hope to see you back at the top there. I hope to see a good spicy race.
Yeah, thanks.
Cheers,
See
mate.
ya.
All right, let's get Swan up here. Our P2 finisher today.
Hello.
Well, P1 on track, I should say, but P2 in the end. I mean, did you get a better sight at what happened at turn one? Lap one?
To be honest, I still don't know. I haven't watched any of the clips back myself.
Yeah,
I just know that I took it up the inside and then avoided wherever carnage happened. So
fair enough. And I mean, it found you
anyway,
in P1 in the end. At the
can we
end
get
of
Chappaz and Livingston up here?
yeah.
The boys. Be honest though, did you miss us? I know you did, Connor.
I absolutely missed you. Yeah.
That's adorable.
Well, yeah, find yourself in P1 at the end of the out of the first corner basically, and on the hard compound tires, I believe, right?
Yeah.
In the first stint, and I think the softs definitely showed the pace advantage against with Magnussen getting past you. But I ultimately think that your strategy probably was the better strategy to be on.
I think the safety car might have just helped them a little bit, but
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and my penalties from being an idiot,
But you showed that you could get past him. You did break DRS, but it's still so close to your lap times. Just shading, a tenth off in each sector or less than that in the end. And I
It
think,
didn't help that he was playing silly buggers and trying to play DRS traps of Swan. So
well, at the end of the day, that's racing, and I mean, we went motor racing. But
at the end of the day, I got a triple podium in my eyes. One of my Alpine Tier 3 boys gets podium in these two.
fair enough. Fair enough. Well, yeah. I mean, does anything you want to add? Anything you talk about, Swan?
Yeah, Coda next week is absolutely disgusting. What a terrible track.
No.
Oh, you're just terrible at the game. Get
Nah,
good.
Coda is disgusting.
Short it. Cota's a great track.
Hey, just do a George Russell turn 1 and then you'll be safe.
Yeah,
That's a good idea. I like that. That's good thinking.
Nah, do an Alonso. Just go airborne.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I'll just go airborne.
It
I'll
wouldn't,
fly
wouldn't
over the
surprise
track.
me in this game, to be honest. No, but yeah, I mean another. It's a podium end day, and it's a P2, not a P3, so can't complain with that. Livingston, obviously P3 for you as well. Double
Yeah.
podium for you boys. What do you want to talk us through your race? I mean, you were definitely up at the front end, up at the sharp end for a good few
Oh,
laps.
well, yeah.
Then got a little bit swamped maybe by a few people coming through on the softer, fresher compounds.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, that's true. I went round. I went up the inside of Martin at the first turn, and then because he came round the back, and then I think it was like there was like a pile up of like 4 cars, so I just drove around the right hand side and went past Martin again, and I just put my head down and didn't really think about anything else. To be honest, I didn't want to like DNF like I have done the last 2 races.
Well,
Probably the best outcome.
it paid off. Yeah, you know, you brought it home. You brought it home and finished on the podium.
Yeah.
Are you a fan of Kota, unlike your teammate? or-
I have no impartial thoughts on Kota, to be honest. I don't really like it, but I don't really care either, to be honest.
Yeah, he's gonna struggle because he's on controller.
Oh, yeah.
Just gonna be in a
Well,
struggle because I'm just
Left.
shit at it.
Right.
to be fair, if you manage to spar on a controller, and I mean, I think Kota's not that much different. The S is on the
S
other hand.
section, that's what I'm gonna say. Yeah, the S section is gonna be so much
But
fun.
yeah, but I mean, that's like basically like what's it, Poo-on and then into what's it called,
I don't
13,
know.
14, whatever it is.
I did poo on better than Swan today. I'm not gonna lie.
Wow.
Well, we got Swan
not
going
bad.
over the track limits that went on in
No, he's
in
not wrong
qualifying.
though.
I mean, as soon as we found out in quali, oh lads, yeah, there's a slight issue with the track limits. Just FYI. I'm sure I'm not the only engineer who said that.
I did not set
Probably
a lap
not.
after being made aware of that. That's all I'm saying.
Well, either way, it was a mistake on the setup end, so it wasn't. It was there to take advantage of at the time, anyway. But yeah, I mean, another great race from you guys today. Big points all, and I think Martin just stole the fastest lap off you, Swan, in the final few laps, which
Yeah,
I
no.
think yeah.
No, there
It
was
still
a guy on
Some
softs.
turn. Yeah.
It was a different guy with softs.
Oh, was it? Alright.
Yeah.
Well, either way, unfortunately, you didn't grab that point today. But I believe 33 points you grabbed today, I think.
God, don't even ask.
So, but yeah, big points all anyway. And
Taking all credit. Cheers, lads.
yeah, well done, chappers, mate. But yeah,
We go like P3 then, surely. Oh no, not P3s. Somewhere around in the constructors. Right.
oh, I'm not too sure. Maybe someone's already added it up, but it'll be done anyway. It'll be done
Yeah,
tonight.
yeah.
And okay, thank you guys for hopping up here and having a chat.
Cheers.
And I hope to see you next week
Yeah.
for Kota.
Alright, bye.
All right, see you in a bit.
See you later.
All right, who wants to come up next? We've done the top 3. Chappers, you go back down. Right, I'll get Unfi up here, and then Rory, of course, you, mate. Is that Rory?
Yeah, hi.
That is Rory. Hi, how are you doing?
Yeah,
I mean,
doing good. Could be better.
you and Vasilev looked pretty joint at the hip the entire race.
Sorry?
You and Vasilev looked pretty, or I think you will know him as Faxi, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty joint at the hip the entire race. You know, a lot of wheel to wheel, a lot of following one another, and I think it's mainly because you were both on the same strategy and both trying to
Yeah, we were.
make the same
He
moves.
was on like newer tires, but
Yeah.
just same strategy.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
in the
could be
end,
better.
it did pay off. I'd say. The soft at the end was the right move to make, because I think you would have lost too much time and probably risked a puncture if you didn't, if you didn't carry on. If you did carry on, sorry. But unfortunate little spin there in the final few laps. But still bringing it home in the points at the end of the day, and that's what matters.
Yeah, it just hurts, you know. Like I haven't had the luck since I started racing at Ferrari. I just know I couldn't do it. so much better.
I was gonna say I don't think it was long ago since we were. I think it might have been Zandvoort, where he had a pretty unfortunate race as well, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
With a few incidents and getting caught up there here and there, but no, either way, you showed once again you had the pace today. You know, you were definitely on pace with Vasilev, if not faster, and you know, and that's the key part to take away from today. Kota, how are you feeling for Kota? Have you like the track or?
It is a interesting track because I know when I played on like multiplayer games, it's like a hit or miss. Like some days I'm like, oh wow, Kota's my favorite track, and some days I'm like, oh my god, this track can like burn in hell. But I hope that everything will be fine. I'm currently in my like essay writing for uni, so like not a lot of practice is going to happen, but we'll be fine. We'll be fine.
Yeah. Well, hope to see you back up there at the sharp end in Kota.
Hopefully. Two.
No one's bloody here now. You scared them away, Connor. Ugh.
Hello.
Twitch watchers. I'm sorry. Hi, Connor.
Hello.
I can get their sound up as well. Lovely time.
This is when you ask us questions.
Yeah, I know. I'm just having a drink because my voice is dead. Shut up, mate. Shut up. Right. Well, I mean, Rory, qualifying was pretty good for you. P5 in the end. After some controversy, but you know, you found your way, snuck your way back up to P5 with your definitely not rigged lobby maker over here. They can't find the strict corner cutting setting in there, but
Oh yeah, no, but we actually didn't abuse it. So unlike other people,
I abused it, bro. I finished like dead last.
I didn't
actually
abuse
you
it
did
either.
abuse it, Rory. You went into the gravel at one point.
You mean when I DSQ'd?
Yeah. Around about then.
Yeah, because I set that lap. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, it was a good result for you in the end. I think there was a few too many fast guys out there today. But P5.
No, we both got me and Sam. I think Sam spun like twice. I think.
It was 2 or 3 times.
I had a near miss once, but I also at the start I got caught up in the best deserved situation.
Yeah.
I got damaged, so I had to pit at the start.
Well, you managed to recover back to where you started anyway, so another P5 for the team. I think that's probably like your most average finishing position, right? P5.
That's my third P5 of the season.
I think Sam's had like 2 or 3, right? I don't even know anymore.
2.
But
as well.
But yeah, I mean, it was a decent race for you. And Sam, your qualifying wasn't flawless.
I may or may have not had some really house music on full blast on my headphones. So
Oh yeah, here's the racing driver excuses. Of course.
therefore, that's why the lobbies were broken.
Right. Okay.
I was broken.
You heard it here first, everybody. Sam's a fuckwit. Anyway, so yeah, qualifying didn't go that well. He set a 2-minute lap time, which I think is a new record for slowest lap down there.
No, that was Masic, right?
What? How did Masic
No, he
set
put
the
like a
lap time?
146 in.
146, mate, get it right.
No, the first lap you set was a 2:04. Pretty sure.
Yeah, and he baited.
Okay. So anyway, you set a 2:04, then you improved to a 46, but then it didn't. You did improve again.
Sam.
My God.
146.
What a guy. I mean, in qualifying, you technically beat your teammate as well, because he was at the bottom. So another dub there.
Beat Rory, but it's an equal machinery.
Exactly.
Not very many people can say they did that.
I can.
Shut the fuck up. Ollie, why do you have to bring this up? I'm literally just out with my ex-teammate.
Oh man. But yeah, no. I don't really know what else to say. I mean, Sam managed to bring it home in the points as well in the end, after Duck just throwing it into a wall. And
It's his favorite.
Him,
It's his favorite
I was
holiday.
I was hoping
He
Dark
actually
Lord and
said
T
it like
would win
6
it.
Sam called it as well.
what's that? Oh, Duck going in a wall.
He literally said Doc's gonna spin.
Well, yeah. Is there anything else you guys want to add?
During NPC.
I'm literally okay.
What did the video mean? I know what it meant, like, because you explained it a long time ago, but it was not clear.
I don't know what you mean.
You mean...
I mean, I don't know what
I kn-
I don't know what you mean. Is what
I know what it
mean.
meant, but is it about basically this amazing fucking...
Yeah, it is. It is exactly that.
Oh,
yeah,
Thank you
sorry,
guys
my-
for
my
coming
mic-
up
my
today, and we're gonna wrap up the stream here.
My mic cut out,
Okay.
and
Okay.
it's basically
All right. Cool. Anyway, I want to leave this call now, and thank you guys for tuning in today. We'll be back on Friday at 7 p.m. GMT for the Tier 1 Kota race, which will be a good one. A lot of side-by-side action expected there. Thank you for the most recent followers. I'll go back the last 5 days. Mumbo Jobo, Lewis Piper, Musty, and Casper Sky. Thank you all. Oh, sorry, Casper Sky was